It is Wednesday, November 25th, 2020, and it's the day before Thanksgiving. This week in Nowhere Village, we're doing the inquiry practice. How are you already living your values or manifesting your vision for a better world? The exercise that we just did, I just taught a meditation where we reflected on what our intention is for meditation. Why do you show up to meditate? And use that as our jumping off point. The reason why you meditate is some kind of care. You care about something. You're committed to transforming something in some way, or balancing something, or bringing something back into alignment, right? And so we know that that's one way we show up with heart and show up with what I was calling in the meditation, the meditative spirit. Um, and so then we reflected in the meditation. It's an exercise that all of you can do with that guidance or without. Then we reflected, as I walk through my days, how am I living that spirit? And something that it still surprises me to see and still feels like worth celebrating and rejoicing, the fact that when I'm not consciously steering, you know, that something inside is. It helps if my awareness, my consciousness is united with that force. That's a lot of, in essence, what meditation does. But nonetheless, that that care moves through us all the time, and this is helpful for me because I'm somebody who I still have a part of me that believes that I need to put in so much effort, and I have to be so consciously in control in order to make something happen. But it turns out that there's something happening already. Life is happening through us already. and so in a way, meditation also just helps that ego that thinks that it's in charge and it's in control, helps that part of us get quiet, helps that part of us, through repeated seeing and being aware, see that it's not the most powerful aspect of the self. And I actually had an interesting experience in that meditation that guiding it, right? I'm in it with you guys. Um, but often I will say that when I'm guiding, I'm less deep than when I'm just still by myself, right? And so it's been a while since I've had a revelation while guiding, but I did today, or just kind of a new. It's not new, the, but a rephrasing, frankly, of my intention for meditating. That for where I am right now is really helpful. And I say it's not new because this is basically what the Buddha set out to do. This is, in one sense, the timeless spiritual question, is how to end suffering. And we talk a lot in Nowhere Village about how it's important to embrace all the aspects of reality, including the painful ones. But that phrase arose for me, what's my intention? To end this suffering for myself and for others. Like, really at the heart of it, if I'm really, really honest, it's like, oh, I'm here for love and I'm here for truth. And that's one way of saying this, because I do believe that those things get us past suffering. But yeah, really clearly today, and really simply and really humbly, it's like, you do this because when you don't, it hurts more. You do this because things have not always been easy. And there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of suffering. And this has been the best medicine that you've known. I am here in Fort Worth, Texas. This is where I was born, this town. Not, I wasn't born in this particular part of town or this particular building. This building actually was just renovated. It's basically a new construction, but my brother renovated his garage into basically a little studio apartment for me to stay in as long as I need to and to return to whenever I need a safe place. And I have a lot of family here, though I moved away when I was 7, and then my brothers and my mom and moved back and settled back with some extended family here. So it's strangely like it's a very deep home, but at the same time, a place that I didn't ever go to school in Fort Worth. I don't really have a lot of friends here, but I'm very, very close with my brothers and my mother and some aunts, uncles, and grandparents here too, and cousins. So it's been an interesting place to land. I'm not sure exactly how long I'll be here. The plan is to go to one of the intentional communities that I fell in love with on my tour sometime in very early 2020, perhaps even January 1st. But I have to say, it's been so beautiful. You can see that we've got work to do. I'm going to be helping finish this construction while I'm here, and but it's livable, and it just feels so wonderful to have a place to know that my family from afar, while I've been living in New York, has been trying to find ways to make me feel more welcome here. There hasn't really been a good place for me to come and be and live and do my work as well when I visit. And so that's an offering from my younger brother. That has really moved me. And I've been here spending time with nieces and my nephew. Both my brothers live right next to each other on this land. And so the kids are all playing together and running around like siblings, and it's very sweet. And I'm Odie to them. So that word reverberates through the land right now. They're really excited I'm here. My nieces are 3.5 and my nephew is 5.5. Very cute. And yes, Nat asked about the rooster. My other brother who lives right next door has chickens and a rooster and puppies, and it's a real creature wonderland over there. And this week, I'm finding I'm settling from this long journey I've been on. There's the rooster. Yeah. And I am contemplating our bigger theme for November, next steps. And I'm trying to give myself time to be here and just to be present. And this reflection of the week has actually really helped me a lot, because as you guys know, I set out on this journey because there were some things that weren't working. There were some ways that I was really finding resistance to my vision where I was, and ways in which I wasn't able to live the kind of life that I'm always telling everybody else they should go and try to live. And I wasn't finding it where I was. And so in a way, it's the suffering that set me out. In a way, it's the pain points, which it's really important to look at those, of course. But this week, I've just been thinking about, I've been trying to remember all of the things that I'm doing right. and to remember all the ways that I have been, even though it kind of, a lot of this time, guys, I felt like a drifter. I felt like this person who doesn't have roots and doesn't have a place to land. And I'm 38 years old, and I didn't manage to create savings for myself so that when my divorce happened, I was actually had a little debt. So, my brothers own their homes. It's like, I don't own anything. What do I have? And so I've spent a lot of time kind of in a way, that again, I think can be healthy, being like, yo, fix that. Fix that now. Like this doesn't go any further. But I've also been reflecting this week on all that I have built. And it doesn't look like stability according to a lot of other people. And there's still some stability that I need to feel peace, to feel okay in this world. But there's other things that I've been building instead of financial stability. And there are things that I care about so deeply that I've been living that care. I really have, in ways that I'm showing up. I think I'm emotional right now because I have been hard on myself, and here with all of you guys on the line, to be able to tell myself that things that I've done well, I've done really well. And to make sure that as I move forward, I don't throw any of it away, and that I don't risk abandoning the person that I've been cultivating for this 38 years, even as I go, hey, you didn't do the greatest job at some things. So that's where I am. I'm going to end, I think, my reflection here, just to say that I'm going to continue to sit with this through this week. And there are challenges with my family. There is a reason why this wasn't the place I moved as soon as I got divorced. There are challenges. And being in this part of the country for me, and as I bump up against them this week, and as we do family Thanksgiving tomorrow, which is sure to have some rides that I'll go on, to remember that I do all of this to bring more peace, to end suffering, and that if I can kind of keep being kind to myself, keep remembering that inside myself, and then kind of let that just spread out around me in these next few days and few weeks of being here, or longer, I'm not sure. If I can just keep coming back to that as my center and my inspiration, I think it's going to be a lot easier to let go of the little ways that I wish things were different, and to keep from being so too mired in what isn't working. Okay. Thanks, Holly. Thank you. Yeah, so I know a couple people are gonna leave, but anybody who wants to stay on the line, I'm gonna stop the recording, and you can hang out with me a little bit. And everyone who's watching, I hope that you share a little bit about what you're doing right and how you're living your care. Yeah, I invite that in Nowhere Village. Thank you.